Tesla stock keeps going down and down and down, and man, can we all catch a break for a second, man? I mean, think with my f***ing retirement. F*** you, Elon. F*** you, man. You freaking Tesla crap like Twitter and SpaceX. No, but honestly, guys, I'm loving these low prices. And yes, I'm still going all in. I actually bought more this morning at the 152, 153 mark. Flipping absolutely cheap. I just don't understand. But anywho, short term, I get it. But we're all here for the long term. As long as 2030, right? Oh, you're not. But those of you guys who are following me, you guys already know I'm going all into Tesla stock and I'm holding at least till 2030. So obviously and naturally, retirement comes into question. And on this channel, I spoke a lot about retiring off Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, and a few other companies as well, but mainly Tesla. The question is now, can we still retire off Tesla stock, even with all these ridiculous volatility prices? Stock price keeps coming down and the whole world is going bad and Tesla can't seem to sell anything. Can we still retire by 2030? And if you could, how many shares do you need now at the moment at the price of 150 or 160 or whatever the price is now? And by the way, when the price keeps going lower, it's a whole lot easier to accumulate shares at a much cheaper price. So you're getting more bang for your buck in the long term. But anyways, we're gonna answer that question. We're gonna take a look at the chart because it's updated. And all I gotta say is, man, if you guys are ready, smash that like button, grab that popcorn, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go. So let's first go ahead and see what we actually need by 2030 to retire very comfortably. First things first, we need a monthly generation of $6,000, which would come out to $72,000 on an annual basis, passively. Now this number does include inflation at a 5% rate year over year from 2022, because this number was made in 2022, all the way till 2030. And I think that's quite a bit. If you guys believe that inflation is going to be 5% in 2026, 2027, well then I guess it's okay. But if you think it's going to be a whole lot less, this number is staying safe. Now, in order to get $6,000 on a monthly basis, you need a rate of return of 7% on $1 million in order to get this monthly or annual income. Now, the question becomes, what will give you the rate of return of 7% by 2030? Now, most of you guys will go like, well, I'm just going to keep holding Tesla, keep withdrawing from Tesla and use that. By 2030, we're all hoping that Tesla's going to give more than 7% return. We don't know that yet. What we do know is the S&P 500 for the 100 years that's been around, the history, there was about 10.5% return annually. But in this case, we're going to say 7% just to say safe, because obviously every single year it differs and sometimes it goes more than expected and sometimes it goes down. It's just the nature of the market. But on the average, we're going to say 7%. Now again, don't fire me, man. I understand. You know, why sell Tesla stock if it's going to give a whole lot more return? Again, we don't know that. Tesla's been around maybe 15, 16, 17 years. It's not a new company. It's an intermediate company, but we still don't have data for it yet. I mean, 15, 16 years is okay, but 100 years is, you know, we can rely on that a whole lot more often. But these are the credentials that you would need by 2030 to retire comfortably. And this should last you for about 40 or 45 years. So, sheesh, that's quite a while. Now, if you guys are ready, smash that like button because we're going to go take a look at the chart. Let's go. So right off the bat, as you guys can see, we got the ultra bear, base, bull, and ultra bull case. And as you guys may have noticed, FSD here is not here. In fact, the whole chart is brand new. And the reason why I did that is specifically to get rid of FSD because apparently FSD is already included in the average selling price for the vehicles. So if we add the FSD, we're pretty much timesing it by 2, which we don't want. But nonetheless, guys, as you guys can see in the ultra bear case, 10 million vehicles sold by 2030. Average vehicle selling price at 40,000. Gary Black says 48,000 by then. We're saying 40, so we're being more conservative. And that will give you a vehicle revenue of $400 billion, 20% operating margin of 80 billion in profits. Energy at that time would be close to 28 billion revenue. That's if you take a 20% compounded growth year over year, starting from 2022. We also want to give that a 20% operating margin because Tesla said it themselves that they want to be in the mid-20s when it comes to the operating margin. And that will give us an energy profits of over $5.5 billion in the ultra bear case. Then we got services here. I do believe that services is going to become a good component for Tesla in terms of revenue and profits, because if you look at their earnings, their Q1 2020 earnings, it's been growing nicely and it's given a profit too. So this should not go ignored. As well as 20% operating margin here, almost $8 billion in service profits. Overall, total revenue of $466 billion, net income of $93 billion. Sheesh. Shares outstanding of 3.2.5 billion. Now, I am including a buyback here because look, if they're making in the bear case over 90 billion net income, they have to do some sort of a share buyback. They just have to. They can't just keep diluting. It doesn't make sense. So I am saying they're going to be at 3.25. Kathy Woods is saying 3.1 billion, but I'm saying 3.25 billion just to stay more conservative. Anyways, EPS of almost 29 bucks per share, which is not bad. Same thing with the bear case. The only thing is different is 15 million vehicles sold, 35,000 vehicles, average selling price, energy at a 25% compounded rate, services at 60 billion, and total revenue of over 600 billion, and net income of almost over 124 billion dollars, and an EPS over $38. That's crazy, but it's the bear case. The base case, we're saying 20 million vehicles, even though I am a bit skeptical. But they could pull it off, who knows? But I don't think by 2030 can do 20 million. I'm not a bear, guys, I'm a bull. But 20 million vehicles at the base case at an average selling price of 30,000. Energy here at a 30% compounded annual growth rate. Energy revenue at 47 billion. This is 30% compounded growth year over year starting 2022. Service revenue at 77 billion. Total revenue over 700 billion. Net income almost 145 billion dollars. EPS of almost 46 bucks. Not bad at all. Bull case, 23 million vehicles sold annually with the average selling price of 28,000. Energy, 62 billion for the revenue. That's about 35% year-over-year growth. Service at almost 88 billion. Total revenue almost reaching 800 billion, and a net income over 150 billion dollars. EPS of 48 bucks, which is crazy. Ultra bull case, 25 million vehicles sold at an average selling price of 26,000. Energy revenue of 80 billion. This is 40% growth annually. We got services revenue over 100 billion dollar, which is crazy. And we got total revenue over 800 billion, and net income of 176 billion, with an EPS of over $51, which is absolutely crazy. Now again, this is all a prediction and a prediction alone. It's not facts, and this should be all taken with a grain of salt. Now let's move on to the PE, see what the stock price would be, and then let's see how many shares it would need. If you guys are ready, then smash that flipping like button, man. Come on. Let's go. So when it comes down to the PE, a lot of folks or investors are saying that if they're doing net income over like 90 billion a year, that means a PE of 15. Now, a PE of 15 would mean the company is growing 5%, 10%, 15% at most. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think by 2030, now remember this, Tesla is a AI company, car company at the moment, and energy, because we have to add energy. They're slowly coming up with it. But right now, Tesla is a car company because majority of their sales and profits are coming from their vehicles. But by 2030, this will shrink. A time will come where Tesla, their main revenue is not going to be coming from vehicles. Vehicles will probably be around 20, 25, 30% at most. And the rest of it would be more AI and energy stuff. Now, I know as you guys can see, we see vehicle profits 80 billion and we have energy at like 5.5 billion. I do expect these profits and revenue to be more of an exponential growth, and time will tell. This is just going based on the numbers that we have and going on based off compounded 20%, 30%, 40% rate. Even though we know Tesla's going more of a 50, 100%, 150% rate, but as an investor to stay conservative, I'm keeping these numbers on a conservative term. But nonetheless, a 15 PE by then would mean a 5, 10, 20% growth. In fact, if you look at Apple right now, they have close to 100 billion in profits every single year, but they're trading at almost a 30 PE, 25 PE. So what gives, right? Why give Tesla 15 PE at that time? So it doesn't make any sense. That's why I said for the entire cases, ultra bear all the way to ultra bull, 25 PE. And as you guys can see, here are the stock prices. Ultra bear, 718 bucks per share, a market cap over $2.3 trillion. Bear case, 954 bucks per share and a market cap over $3 trillion. Base case, stock price over 1,100 bucks per share and a market cap over $3.6 trillion. Bull case, over 1,200 bucks per share, over $3.9 trillion in the market cap. Ultra bull, almost reaching 1,300 bucks per share and a market cap almost reaching $4.2 trillion. So, sheesh. Comment down below, guys. Do you guys think this is realistic? And if you guys believe this is realistic, comment down below where you guys at. Ultra bear, base, bull, or ultra bull. Curious to know. Comment down below. Now it's time to see how many shares you need now at these stock prices to reach that $1 million by 2030. If you guys are ready, man, this is the juicy part. This is the meat part. If you guys are ready, smash that like button. Let's go. Starting off with the ultra bear case. Now, I do have to point out, guys, that we're going based on the current stock price of 150 bucks per share. Kind of what it is, almost close to what it is at the recording of the video. And yes, this does make a difference in the shared value. In a good way if it goes lower, and in a bad way if it goes higher. But anyways, we'll look at the scenarios and You'll see. Let's go. So starting out with the ultra bear case, you need about 1,393 shares right now, or a dollar value of $210,000 in order to reach that $1 million by 2030. I mean, 200,000 is definitely not pocket change, and we're in a recession, so it's going to be hard to gather money, but this is how much you would need now in the ultra bear case to reach that $1 million by 2030. Now, it goes up the ladder from here, right? Because the ultra bear case, let's look at the bear case. In the bear case, we need 1,048 shares right now, or a dollar value of over $157,000. I mean, that's a whole lot better. That's 50,000 less than the ultra bear case, which is really good, but again, it's not pocket change. But if you're disciplined and you're committed, it's doable. It's really doable. Now, moving on to the base case. You need about just shy of 900 shares at a dollar value of just below $135,000. Now, that's a whole lot better than $157,000 and $210,000. But yet, not pocket change, but if you're committed again, and if you are disciplined, you can do it. And if you believe the base case, right? If you believe they're going to do 20 million vehicles by 2030. Now, let's move on to the bull case. If you guys believe the bull case, the stock price is going to be almost close to $4 trillion at $1,200 per share. Then all you would need right now at this given moment is 831 shares, or a dollar value of $125,000. Now, that's a whole lot better than the rest three, but still, you need 6 figures, which is still not pocket change or easy to do, but if you're disciplined, you can definitely do it. Now, let's go on to the ultra bull case, which the stock price reaching almost $1,300 per share. You would need 778 shares right now, or a dollar value of $116,000 invested right now to make that million by 2030. And then if you believe in the ultra bull case is going to be the case, that's a 9x. That's a 9x. That's not bad at all. Again, not pocket change, but easier than 210,000, 160,000, 135, 125, now 116,000. Now, obviously, you can't just pile in 160. I mean, where are you going to get 100K from, right? Especially when we're in this bad scenario. That's why dollar cost averaging is key. As the price keeps going down, I'm going to continue to buy. Again, going all into Tesla stock, I think it's the greatest opportunity in our lifetime. Now, let me show you guys this wonderful chart right here. This is based on the PE. As you guys can see in this chart, the PE is low as 20 and as high as 30. And you guys can see how many shares you would need, the dollar amount needed to reach that 1 million mark by 2030. Now, obviously, again, guys, this is not facts. It's only a prediction. Take all this with a grain of salt. Now, most of you guys will be looking at this and say that 6 figures, man, I can't dump this much at the moment. Well, let's play around with the current stock price and you'll be amazed by how much you would need. So let's first increase to 160 and you would need more. But then if we decrease it down to 140 each share, the value you need to put in today gets less. Same thing with 130, same thing with 120, same thing with 110, and same thing with 100. Let's go down as low as 60. I think everyone's saying 60. Let's see how much you would need if Tesla goes 60. Oh my God. $40,000. I mean, at the ultra bear, 83,000. That's just insane. And there you guys have it. Can you guys still retire off Tesla stock by 2030? In my opinion, in my humble opinion, yes. Ask any long-term investor, even the ones that have turned and flipped into bears right now, they will say Tesla has a phenomenal future. And once FSD is solved, because it's going to get solved one day, if it's not next year, it's the year after that, it's the year after that, then you will see the whole market shift in Tesla's favor. Because right now, it's an impossible thing. If you guys remember back in 2018, 2019, it was 2018 when they thought that, oh, Tesla's finished, they're going bankrupt, they will never be profitable. Guess what happened a couple years after that? Yeah, same story is going to play out with FSD. Just watch. It's going to happen. But you know what else is going to happen? In my opinion, Tesla stock is going to be around 1,000. Well, my price target is 1,400 by 2030, but 1,000 I think is a bit more realistic and to stay more conservative. But Kathy Woods is saying by 2027, Tesla stock is going to be worth 2,000 per share. That's absolutely a sheesh moment. Here's a video. I break it down how I think that's not realistic, and a scenario that could be realistic. So check it out. You won't be disappointed. Support the channel by becoming a channel member or getting some Go All In merch, and subscribe for more. And I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.